Welcome back, everybody. My guest tonight is the author of The Fall and Rise of the Islamic State. Let's see how he does against the rise of my Christian anger. Please welcome Noah Feldman. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Feldman, thank you so much for coming on. Now, your book, The Fall and Rise of the Islamic State, isn't that backwards? Isn't it the rise and fall of the Islamic State? Aren't we? We have a footprint in the Middle East now from which all the Islamic states around us will topple. Isn't that the idea of being in Iraq?
Well, we may have made a start on it, but first there was an Islamic...
Then good. Then let's switch that around. Let's put the arrow down here and the arrow up there so you get that. Yeah, switch around. There you go. Okay.
But
You're welcome.
We did have an Islamic State for well over 1,000 years that worked perfectly well. Then it collapsed right around the time of the First World War, and now they're coming back. Now Islamic states are coming back, and in fact,
but we're going to stop that, right? I mean, we're in Iraq to stop the rise of Islamic fundamentalism, getting political power in the Middle East, and exercising that power the way they do in Iran, and asking to wipe Israel off the map. That's why we're there, right?
We said we were going to go for that reason, but it turned out that because we said we wanted to create democracy there, and we let people have elections, it turned out that they elected the Islamists. They elected the people who said, and were buddies with the people in Iran.
Right, which is why Iraq needs to get some superdelegates to overturn the will of the people. Have they thought about that over there?
Well, actually, we did try to have superdelegates. Jerry Bremer was kind of a superdelegate there.
Okay,
but
now
let's get into
this. Let's educate the audience a little bit here. You actually helped draft the Iraqi constitution, correct?
I helped advise the Iraqis who drafted it.
I understand. Okay. You didn't actually go in there and write in Arabic the Iraqi constitution.
No, I did not.
Could you? Do you know Arabic?
I do know Arabic.
You do know Arabic?
I do know Arabic.
Oh, say something in Arabic.
What would you like me to say? Assalamu alaikum. Ya Sayyid Colbert.
Alaikum assalam.
Tasharrafna, ya.
Yeah, I'm out. So you drafted the Iraqi constitution. Does it have a Bill of Rights like our constitution? Is there freedom of speech?
It does.
Freedom of assembly?
It's in there.
Freedom of religion?
It's in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Any religion you want.
Any religion you want.
So it's not like Sharia law over there.
Well, it's both. First, they guarantee freedom of religion, but then they also say that Islam is the official religion, and that no law passed by the government can violate the tenets of Islam.
So there is an establishment clause, except that it establishes a religion.
Exactly. They have a "we hereby establish Islam" clause in their constitution.
But how can we have Sharia law over there? Sharia law, from what I understand, from watching the press and hearing from my government over the last 7 years, and I don't think I'm wrong in characterizing this, is the worst possible form of government ever devised by man. You chop off hands and you stone women for showing too much flesh.
Well, first of all, in Iraq, none of those things are part of the law as applied. There are places in the Muslim world where that kind of thing does still happen. It's true, and it's obviously something that's very bad. But
okay.
It's not part of the model in countries where people are voting for governments that are increasingly Islamic. And many Muslims, not all, but many Muslims think that shouldn't be part of Islamic law, that shouldn't be part of it.
But don't we support governments like Pervez Musharraf to stop Islamic Sharia law from being the law of the land? I mean, we prop up Musharraf so the Islamists can't get power.
We're on both sides of this issue. So we support Musharraf to support the rule of law, and then when he fires the Supreme Court and suspends the Constitution and arrests 50,000 lawyers, we say, oh, that's okay. That's not against the rule of law.
But
and then we're shocked when he doesn't do well in the elections.
Isn't that better than having an Islamist state? Because, I mean, Iran is an Islamist state, okay? And there are enemies. They're mortal enemies. They have nuclear bombs, and they're coming for you and your children.
Well, Saudi Arabia is also an Islamic state, though, and they're our ally.
But they're not really Sharia state. They promote Wahhabism, but they're not really Sharia law.
Well, don't say that to them.
They're not a theocracy.
I think Saudi Arabia is a theocracy. It absolutely is. It's a government where Islam is the rule. And they absolutely see themselves as a Sharia state. They actually don't like the term Wahhabi. They think that's an insult. But they like the term Sharia.
They don't like the term Wahhabi?
Yeah, you don't want to go throwing that around in Saudi.
Wahhabi. See me shake? Shake. Well, let me get this straight. If we have Sharia law in Iraq, if that's what we've achieved in Iraq now, and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge supporter of the Iraq War for whatever the reason was or ever will be. I'm behind the president 100% on this. Does that mean that our soldiers, who may or may not be stationed there for 100 years, will be fighting to help uphold Sharia law?
So long as that's what the Iraqi people say they want, that's exactly what we'll be
doing. So the army will be actually
helping
the Iraqi people have Sharia law. Be Allah you can be.
I'd say we're already doing exactly that in Iraq right now.
I'm going to choose to ignore that. Mr. Feldman, thank you so much for joining us. The book is The Fall and Rise of the Islamic State. It's an eye-opener. We'll be right back.